I don't know if you guys have seen, but I've seen a lot of discourse online about Sagat being top 10 or top 5 or whatever. I know Rob started a whole argument online yesterday about Sagat being broken, which I don't think is true, because I've just seen a whole bunch of argument going on about, you know, who's top in Street Fighter 6. You know, is Sagat really that good, or is Blas just amazing? Yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. And it got me thinking. And you know, we can use this list here for research purposes. On upsets.gg, they have like a top 200 player list for, yeah, they have like a top 200 player list in Street Fighter 6. And this is how the character spread is broken down. So you got like, you know, JP, Akuma, Cammy, you know, the obvious suspects, Ryu, Mai, etc. And Sagat's all the way down here at 1. Now, I think Sagat only has one main because I don't think anyone truly main Sagat right now. But at the same time, I do think I don't think Sagat's terrible. But I also wanted to bring up, that's kind of just the beauty of SF6.
Hey YouTube, glad you've been enjoying all the videos I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So be sure to hit that subscribe button as well as like and share the video.
While I don't think Sagat's top 5, I do think there could be an argument for Sagat being top 10. But at the same time, I think Street Fighter 6 is, what's the word I'm looking for? So I don't want to say well-ly made, but it's a game where I feel like we could have 18 different characters in top 10. Math doesn't add up. Basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of good characters I could always just talk about in Street Fighter 6. So I think JP is really good, Akuma's really good, Cammy's really good, Ryu's really good, Mai's really good, Ed's really good. I guess Chun would be the first one where I'm kind of like but I do think there is an argument for Chun to be top 10. I don't think Chun's that bad. Same could go for Ken or Terry or Blanca or Rashid or Bison or Jury, etc. There's a lot of characters. And then even that's where Sagat comes in. But I do think most of the cast is kind of just like bundled up in tiers where like potential top 5, potential top 10, and then you got like the rest. If I were to be like, okay, potential top 5, but these are all the potential top 5 characters, I wouldn't argue with somebody saying Ryu or Blanca or JP or Rashid or Ed or Akuma or Bison or Terry or Mai. I feel like all these characters here are basically potential top 5. Obviously this is more than 5 characters, but I think all 9 of these characters have an argument for it. But then if you go to here, where you could also get to the potential top 10 list, there's all these characters here, which rounds out 9. And then you could also have arguments for Chun-Li. You have an argument for Guile. You have an argument for Kimberly, Jury, Ken. I'd even still throw there, DJ, then Cammy. Oh, it's Sagat, right? Depending on who you're asking. But like I said, I don't think Sagat's top 10 personally. But like I said, this is like, how many characters? This is 9 and this is 8. So this is already 17 characters in the game. Dual Kevin single-handedly gaslighting the community to think Rashid could be top 5. Really? I think Rashid's still really good. Me personally, I don't think Viper is top 10. I don't think there's an argument for Viper to be top 10. I think all these characters here have an argument to be potentially top 10, but that's about it. And then you got like the rest. But potential 15 is like Luke, Dalsim, Manon, Aki, and Viper, right? Oh, and Geef, and Elena. Yeah, but like I said, this could be my tier list, and I feel like nobody would even argue this. This is not even my tier list, but it just kind of shapes up that way. Delete this. This is not even my tier list, but this is just like the argument for, this is just kind of how SF6 is. If we were to do this for other games, since we're going to stay on the Street Fighter subject, Street Fighter 5. Ooh, chat. I'm gonna do the same thing. Who's potential top 5 in Street Fighter 5? But you see how smaller the list is gonna be, because at the end of the game for Street Fighter 5, I would say the only argumented characters for top 5 would have been Ed, Bison, Poison, Dalsim, Luke, and that's kind of it. I feel like the only other character that could have been there is like Ken. But yeah, these are the only potential top 5 characters. If anyone else kind of said any other character up here, oh, Cody. My bad, I forgot Cody. Yeah, I forgot Cody was there. I forgot Cody was there. But if anyone said any of the other characters were kind of top 5, or potential top 5, they would kind of look at you crazy. I say this with SF6 being kind of better in the sense that more of the characters are kind of bunched up together, because if you said any of these characters are top 5, I would be like, okay, you know, you could have your own opinion. Versus Street Fighter 5, with way more characters, by the way, has like their kind of own distinct 7. I could do this for Guilty Gear. I could do this for Marvel 3. In Marvel 3, 3, I feel like, you know, quick excuse to glaze the Godfighter, Marvel 3. The only potential top 5 is still like 7 characters. It's like, oh my god, there's so many characters in this game. You got Doom, you got Zero, Morgan, Magneto, wherever he is, and Virgil. The only characters I feel like you could really argue would be Phoenix, right? Why are there 10 Dantes? That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, in other fighting games, it's very easy to tell who's the best. In Street Fighter 6, I feel like this game just has the argument to be like, there's a lot of characters that you could say are the best in the game, and people honestly wouldn't look at you crazy. I would say that means the game is pretty balanced. I know a lot of people have been kind of shitting on this game's balance as of late, and I don't think the game's balance is something you can particularly shit on personally. No, I mean, I agree with you, True Resurrection. Balance doesn't always equate to fun, but I do think I don't think balance is really this game's problem. It is crazy looking back at Street Fighter 5 and just be like, yeah, these are kind of just the best characters in the game at the end, and then like all the other ones were like, they were good, like there were a lot of potential like top 10 top 15s character, but these were just those are kind of just like the guys at the end. Have my matches are Ryu worse than balance? I don't think that's a Street Fighter 6 problem. I don't think people are picking Ryu because they're top tier. What about potential top 10 of 5? Towards the end, what? Yeah, people arguing Balrog, Chun-Li. G was so slept. Oh, Falk, or some people say Laura, Urien, Deku. Oh yeah, Jury. At the end, I feel like those were kind of just like the better characters towards the end. There's a lot of characters you can fit in the second shelf. Do you actually think so? Because I don't think so. I feel like potential top 10 and 6 was kind of cut and dry. I don't think I'm missing any other character here. I guess the best character that's still here is probably Colleen, right? I would say Colleen or G, but Colleen and G both had very distinct weaknesses. Colleen got zoned like crazy, and if G got knocked down, he kind of just ate shit. And if you're gonna get the level, Ibuki was not good at the end of that game. Ibuki wasn't that good at the end of Street Fighter 5. Seth was okay, but Seth, you really have to get a lot of the V-trigger shenanigans going. Seth was just V-trigger. Rashid, not really Rashid either, no. I hated Mika personally, but she wasn't top. Like, you couldn't really have an argument for top 10. Like I said, there's a lot of characters here that just were good, but they weren't like, I couldn't really have an argument for top 10. Alex felt strong at the end. Are you one of the SF5 developers? Because they thought Alex was the best in the game at the end. The holy pinnacle of balance, Street Fighter 4. Wasn't Street Fighter 4 just as bad? You're saying this like Street Fighter 4 is probably gonna have the same thing as Street Fighter 5. You had like Evil Ryu, Yun, wherever he is. Oh yeah, to Capre. Where's Elena? I really can't find Elena. Am I blind? Oh, there she is. Rolento and Ken. I feel like Rolento and Ken probably last. Potential top 5 is like 6 characters. Potential top 5 is like 7 characters. Potential top 5 is 9 characters, chat. You gotta think about it like that. Potential top 5 is 9 different characters. I don't think anyone said Forte at the end of the game was top 5. I don't think I've heard any player say that. Ken wasn't even that good. Yeah, you guys are kind of pulling characters that I don't even think have an argument. I don't even think Ken was that good. Yeah, Forte was annoying, but he wasn't like a good character. Well, let me not say a good character. He wasn't like, you know, strong. Like I said, even this game has a cutoff. Even Marvel 3 has a cutoff because, like I said, you stop getting to the actual characters that could actually. I can't think of a single other Marvel character that would be top 5. It's probably just like a bundle of these 6 characters, and that's kind of it. Nova? Do you think Nova top 5? I guess Nova has an argument, but I don't think anyone would put Nova top 5. I don't even think Nova's top 5. I think you could sell Nova being like top 7, top 8, but not top 5. If I hear top 5, these are the only characters I really think of, which have good arguments. Even 2SKO has a really bad. I can't do top 5 because that game barely has any characters in the first place. But like I said, 6 does it. I think 6 does it a lot better than other games, which, you know, rare iDom compliment for SF6. Try is much easier because what you put Happy Chaos, Chip, Potemkin. I think Millie broken. I'll die on that hill. Gold Lewis and like Asuka. I would say that's literally it. Besides these characters, I feel like no one else really got a good argument. Maybe Abba. Maybe Abba. But that's about it. Nah, Sin and Soul are definitely not top 5 this season. They're good, but they're not top 5. They're like top 10-ish, but I wouldn't say top 5. 6 is a balanced game. That was the whole point of this segment. 6 is a balanced game. 6 is probably just more bunched up because of Drive Rush though, since it masks a lot of the problems that characters have. Yeah, that's the good thing. 6 is more bunched up because Drive Rush is insane.